I thought I had the world ahead of me. I was going to be a professional athlete, a star cyclist, riding in the Tour de France. That's where my dream was. But unfortunately, on a hot, sunny day, just like now, I was riding my bike, thinking like I had everything ahead of me. I was safe, had my helmet on, I was even in a bike lane. But a moment like that, I was cut off and forced into a back of a parked bus. I hit head first, and I broke my neck at the C5-6 level. Right away, after probably the second hour in the hospital, I was told by the doctors, I'll never walk again. Never walk again? What am I going to do with my life? How am I going to be able to get by? What is life going to really be like in a wheelchair? As I went through the hospital, got a little bit stronger, I was put in a wheelchair, and mobility was ahead of me. Thinking after about 6 months of my accident, it's not going too bad. I think I can live like this. And all of a sudden, the perks started happening. As I got out of the hospital and got to my first shopping center, there we are, putting up that little blue tag in our window. Handicap parking placard. Wow, front row parking. Every time I go to the mall, to the grocery store, I get front row parking. All the perks of wherever I go. Going to a concert, right to the front. I could see this isn't going to be so bad in a chair. But then all of a sudden, the perks kept happening. After getting out of the hospital, 2 weeks later, my family booked a trip to Hawaii. As I'm sitting there waiting to board the plane, the lady looked down and said, "Excuse me, sir, what seat are you in?" Looks like we're in row 26. Row 26 will not do it for you. I think you need a little bit more comfort. Next thing I know, I am booked onto first class. Just by sitting in a wheelchair. Oh man, this is gonna be nice. As they're putting me in first class, it's free drinks, free food. How can you go wrong with that? And over time, I've flown many, many times. And I noticed if I just sit there, kind of look like a little depressed, I always see they're coming over and giving me first class. This is great. How can I go wrong with that? Then as time goes on, I started going to the movies and doing more things. But at the movies, it was great. Next thing I know, I have my own spot. Every time I go to the movies, I don't look for a seat and try to tackle my way over seats and people. It's always reserved for me. They even painted my picture right there on the floor. Yeah, there's the dude in a wheelchair. I get to sit there. Over time, I moved out on my own, and I had to do all my grocery shopping. Wow, to pull a cart, to try to grab up things high, it seemed like it was going to be impossible. Until one day I got an idea, and actually I probably stole this idea. I went to the checkout manager and said, "Excuse me, can I have my own personal shopper?" "Yes, no problem." I always say, it's always nicer if she's a little cute, you know. And next thing I know, I had all the girls coming over and helping me doing my personal shopping. They pulled a cart, and all I had to do was point and shoot, and there goes it in the basket. They bag it up for me and bring it out to the car. Sometimes I said, I wish you guys could even come home with me just to put away my groceries. But that's not that bad. Over the years, I always get recognized, no matter where I go. I think it's the wheelchair. If there's 100 people, they always recognize that one person in the chair. And it's kind of like being a rock star. The only thing is, too many people know me, and I'm not sure I remember everyone's name. And it's kind of a little bit hard because everybody knows me and I get recognized. Also, many other perks, I don't have to worry about buying shoes all the time. My shoes are always clean. The bottoms are always nice. And next thing you know, over the years, I have 100 pairs just because they all look brand new. There are also many other perks I get out of jury duty. Every time I get that card in the slip, all I do is write down, put in that handicap symbol on, and then send it away. Never have to do jury duty. It's a nice little feeling. Little bit on going to work. I always have a little bit of excuse if I'm late. Sorry, there was no handicap parking, or sorry, I got a flat tire on my wheelchair. Sorry, you know, and it's always, my boss is always, no problem, it'll be fine. Last but not least of my perks, and I always had a hard time when I was able-bodied walking around. I danced like a fool. I had no dance. Call it white man can't dance. That was me. But luckily, in a wheelchair, everybody appreciates anybody dancing out on the floor. Everybody giving me high five, buying my own drinks, and actually, the women always came up to meet me. And that's how, the best perk of them all, I got to meet my wife while dancing at a country western bar. So all the perks, after a while, I can't complain. Yes, some things are hard, but I always think about the positive of being in a wheelchair and all those great perks. I feel like I'm a rock star because I get treated like that all the time. Thank you.